Well, yes, in the early 90s, I don't recall the exact year, but the city did hire a consulting firm, Kirkemichael and Associates, to do a water system study. And as a result of that study, they determined that there were some deficiencies in the water system, some areas of low pressure, low volume for firefighting purposes, and so forth.
Because they always told you water tower is not really for the water, it's for fire protection. It's the main objective of a water tower.
Explain what you mean by that.
Well, I don't know how many, but they pump 500 gallons a minute,
Okay.
pumping water. And the wells pump, I don't know, they used to be like 1,500 gallons a minute. I'm never sure what they are now. But you'd run out of water if there was a major fire. So basically the water towers are for basically fire protection and also water storage, maintain pressure.
One of the recommendations of that study was to improve the water flows and pressure in the interstate area. So that involved putting in a water tower for more capacity for firefighting purposes. And that's where the idea came from, or the reason for the project.
Do you remember how you first heard about the idea to paint it as a hot air balloon?
Well, that idea came forth at a city council meeting. A citizen brought forward the recommendation. There had been some talk in the community before that, but officially it did come before the city council.
Well, we had the main gallon tank on Duke Avenue. There was a 250,000 gallon tank on 9th and it was Blackburn on 9th Street itself. There's a 150, or I can't remember for sure, the underground storage that used to pump into that and pump out of that into the system.
Okay.
The little tower was put in back when Jesus was a little guy, so it needed to be replaced. And the underground storage has got to be a part more contamination than anything. Plus, all the industries and annexation of everything at the interstate, the water pressure was pretty tough out in that area.
The idea of the balloon did come before the city council, and it was, I know Lynn Christensen and Marty Russo were both involved in that. They presented, and it seems, as I recall, I think Marty was the one that presented the color scheme, a color scheme, not the one that was adopted. The color scheme that was adopted was developed by myself and my secretary through Public Works. The original color scheme was a kind of a patchwork quilt type pattern, and we were advised by our administrator to go and look forward to see if there was another scheme that we might like to come up with, and that's the one that we came up with, this particular design.
Well, Kenny Eckler was the water superintendent.
Okay.
And I guess there for a while, I might have been kind of his right-hand man at the time. And he needed some help to turn this on. He needed somebody up on top of the tower and somebody turning the valve.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna shimmy myself on up the top of that. I got about half to 3/4 of the way up there and I chickened out. But that time the lighting and stuff wasn't the good in that tower because it was all new. I got up there and I stepped in some water and it really freaked me out a little bit. So I come back down, and so Kenny Eckler went up and I'm the one that turned the valve in.